I've never ever seen those ones before. They're called I-29 or something. They're just long. I'm trying to scan the QR. But the lens is still the same. Oh, okay. No worries. I'll let Dylan know as well. Yeah, okay.
Good people talking about business. I was my case. You know about the conversation. It's nonsense. It's mad. You tell me the caliber, the conversation, the caliber of people involved. Like, hoping to your facts or figures. You can't use the word hoping. Hoping. Maybe. If we're lucky. Fingers crossed. It's either black or white. Yes, it's positive. No, it's not. Do we do it? Yes or no? It's not my day to just relax, have a coffee, and catch and play later. The UK, believe. It's Christmas. Again. It's mad, isn't it, how like a year goes so quick. Like, imagine if you're a traumatization and you hate life. You're like, oh, not another day, not another day, not another day. When you actually enjoy life and love life, it's like you blink, it's like a year's gone. It's mad. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I've been in Spa today. It's been chilled. The manager of the Spa supposedly came to me and said, Mike, yeah, you've seen the signs? I said, yeah. Says, do you know we're in 2025? And them signs have been there for the last, like, what, 8 or 9 years? He says, yeah, they still apply. I said, do you want me just to leave? And he said, no, you don't have to leave. I said, no, I'll just leave, it's fine. So I just left. And again, it's kind of slavery work, you know. It's you got these clowns that don't understand the realization of life, and where money, how money flows, and where money flows from. And again, they put rules in place and make rules happen to cost themselves more money. It's weird. It's weird. But anyway, this place is already struggling already. We've got one member of staff behind the bar who's struggling to make drinks. You've got two members of staff on reception who are checking in very little people, because why do you need two people on reception these days? We don't know. And yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. So it's like they've got boring jobs and they want to cause drama and traumatization, upset. And at the end of the day, they're not all traumatizing me, are they really? Think about it. I just leave and go somewhere else. But think about them. They upset me as I'm a paid guest. And then they also have somebody else who's a paid guest. They also have somebody else who's a paid guest, and they have no business, and then they have no job. So the realization is that actually, if you upset your clientele, you're not finding out you have no business. So what's the realization is you keep upsetting your clients until they stop trading with you. Then you got no job. Then you can't afford to eat. So what's the point of life? What, we get a job here, trash that company, get a job here, trash that company, get a job here, trash that company. Is that the realization? Oh yeah. I've worked all my life. I've worked for all these different companies. Yeah. Why have you all gone under? Well, I rest my case. So, yeah. Anyway. It is what it's like. We persevere forward. So. We dedicate. Drive forward. Didn't upset me. No TTS, no use. That's what life's about. What? Pure nonsense. It's mad, isn't it, when you think about life? Think about civilization. Like, people just want entertainment these days. They're bored. They've got nothing else to do in the world. They've got a shit job, shit house, shit family, and they want to entertain themselves, which is the way it works. Yeah? It's how it is. It's how it is. Anyway, as long as people get pleasure from my channel, I guess that's all that counts, really. But that's the realization, isn't it, really? Like, think about it. Do I scroll through TikTok? No. Do I lie in bed at night masturbating? No. And am I ever bored? Or do I ever feel down? Or do I ever feel like, yeah, life's not worth living? Never the case for me, is it? So, yeah, I must be doing something right. I must be. Fine. Anyway. Or maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm just completely utterly wrong, and civilization is to be human beings and to be sad and miserable, and maybe that's the whole agenda. You know, be struggling, eating unhealthily. You can visit the hospital more times in a year than I have done in my whole life. Like, maybe that's what the answer's about. Maybe the answer is to get fucked up every night of the week. To pretend we're having fun. Maybe we should be doing that. Oh, we do. Majority of life do. I wonder why. Imagine if anybody can do anything they want in the world today, then is that like if everybody could do the same thing and everybody can go out drinking, everyone could go down living in hotels. If everybody can do anything in the world, it wouldn't be fun, would it? No. So it'd be a bit different. Yeah, it's fun being me because I get to do things that nobody else can do, and that's fun. It makes me happy, it makes me content, it makes me, I don't know. powerful and more superior. Yeah, that's how it is, unfortunately. So, yeah, no more slavery work. Oh yeah, we never really had slavery work in the past, did we? We've never really done any slavery work. However, we did take a job in Bristol to do a bar job, to see what a bar job is. I never even got paid for that. So, because of Islam. Well, you can't say too much about Islam, can we? It's the truth. Just having a coffee. Just relaxed. It's 2 o'clock now. We've got a plane to catch at 6. So, yeah, basically. And maintain yourself. And associate with people who are like-minded and, well, sorry, not like-minded, negative, but like-minded who are positive and driving forward. Because that's the only way to drive forward. Imagine me sitting here now, just come from a spa, I've got 6 or 7 people around me, having coffees, all just relaxed, chilled out, relaxed, nothing about money. It doesn't really matter. You know, how much is the bill? Oh, it's £45. Great. Paid, done, sorted. What's next? Yeah, isn't that what life's about? That's definitely what life's about. But instead, everyone's going out shopping for Christmas, buying presents for people that they're unwanted. It's mad, isn't it? This is Christmas. Think about every single lyric you hear about Christmas. It's basically about spending money. Are you a millionaire? Well, if you were, if the HMRC is asking, no, I'm not. No, I'm broke. But yeah. So I'm joking. Obviously, HMRC can only touch us in the UK, but when you have international businesses, HMRC means nothing. So, yeah, if you have international income, which is more currencies, then yeah, if you're in Europe making money, what's HMRC these days? Zero. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, how the world actually works when you start to realise that, you know, if your only solo income is from the UK, you are controlled. When you actually have multiple incomes from different sources, from different countries, you tend to be treated differently. The HMRC tends to be really nice to you because they realise, oh my God, this guy has multiple incomes and they're also from different countries. Oh my God, we must be really nice to this guy because he's the one that's bringing the money into the country. I wonder how it works. Oh, it's all right. Let's just penalise every single person that isn't linked internationally. Let's be unfair to them. But let's be realist. Let's be realist to the guy that actually is international. And let's be nice to him. He's obviously going to pay us money. He's obviously going to be nice to us. And we'll be nice to him. That's the realisation to life. I'm telling you the truth. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Imagine making money internationally and then coming and buying a coffee in the UK. Yeah, you're recycling money. And then what happens when I go abroad? I spend money abroad using UK currency. So what I am doing is I'm recycling money back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's called tourism. Well, that's what they put it down to. But when they see that, they're like, oh, okay. Mike's working internationally. He's bringing money internationally. So, you know, fair play to the guy. It's mad, isn't it, with the way the world actually works when you actually really consider it and think about it. What's your income stream? My income stream is multiple. We have money from the government, because isn't that what everyone does these days? Okay, yes, that's what everyone does these days. So you have money from the government. We have money from trading, you know, from trading on 212. We have money that's invested. Well, when I say invested, it's not really invested. It's just put into accounts that makes money per day. We also run private businesses as well. We also integrate ourselves with other managing directors with a business plan to drive them forward at the same time as us. So yeah, I can no longer become poor. And connections, being well connected is the way forward in the world today, and that's what I've established. So having this maintaining like one job, maintaining, you know, a level of understanding that you might get fired at any one point, but it's okay, you get a mortgage because, oh, it's all right. You go to work tomorrow and tell your boss that you don't like him and you'll get fired. Because that's how life is, to be a realist about it. And you lose your job. If I get a job tomorrow and I turn to my boss and say, yeah, 1, I don't believe you. 2, you're a liar. And 3, yeah, I've got no respect for you. What's going to happen? Yeah, you're going to get fired pretty quick. So I've already done it. I've already walked into an office and already told a managing director of a company to go fuck himself. I don't agree with his policies. I don't agree with his terms of business. And guess what happened? I got fired within seconds. So if every single person has one job and one solo income, you are controlled. I've already done it. I've been there. I did it as a laugh and a joke, actually, as a social experiment to see if it actually worked. And you do get fired. So, and there's actually quite a lot of people that actually stood up for me as well, who actually know me for what I did and what I said. They actually had a valid point. They actually said to me, well done, Mike. I understand why you did it. But the guy's now lost his company. He now works for somebody, and he's now got a shit life. And yeah, I've now realised. So it was a guy that I worked for after lockdown. And it was a guy that we built up as a team. It was actually quite a lot of us that built up this whole team after lockdown. Within the first year, we did £1 million within the first year of lockdown ending. It was a brand new company that set up, and we did £1 million within the first 12 months. And that was from a company that didn't really, well, it was knowing, but it wasn't actually driving forward, but it was a group of us that made it happen. But that's when you know loyalty doesn't actually exist in a business, because what happens then, you see, is yeah, after, well, I'm actually glad I'm glad I walked out of it, to be fair, because the company was then sold or bought out on the terms and conditions that the company would then make X amount of per month and per year after that, and it's failed. And now he's lost his whole brand, his whole business, and I actually walked out before. I kind of saw it coming, to be fair, yeah. But anyway, but it's interesting. So yeah, it's mad, really. So it always sounds good, doesn't it? Oh, I'm being bought out. Oh, we're going to merge. If any company ever merges, it's because it's failing. So when BT merges with merges with EE, what's failing? Is EE failing or is BT failing? BT's failing. So we realised that EE isn't failing, but BT is failing. Hence why it was a buyout. When you look at, obviously, again, all the like companies in countries that buy out all the companies, it's mainly because of the fact that they're failing. It doesn't build anything. You know, look at Vodafone. Vodafone is currently merged with, let's say, okay, sorry, I can't politically say what company they've merged with. But one thing I will say is they've merged, and look at their systems in place now. Vodafone's shit. They fucked up. And that's the UK for you. That just shows they're not spending the money on the infrastructure. So if you're in technology, the formation of technology is you automate every single manual job you automate, but you don't automate anything for the worse. So, for instance, again, I spoke to a trampoline park today, and I sent a message via trampoline park via a social media outlet, and they've not replied back to me. But I get an automated message saying, "Thank you very much for your message. We'll get back to you very shortly. However, if you want to book tickets, please call or please book online." And I think to myself, like, that's a failed business. Failed. It's like when you phone EE and you just want to speak to somebody and you can't. You have to provide a number. You have to provide so much information that you actually find out you get somebody who's in a different country, and they still can't sort out any problems. So cellular networks have gone down the hill. So guess what's happened? EE will eventually go under. Vodafone will eventually go under. And guess who will take guess what will take over? Well, first of all, I don't know if you noticed, but on the iPhone now, I'll show you this actually, because people don't realise this. Let me just, I'll show you this actually, because this is something I think people need to know about, because it's interesting. But on the iPhone now, this has been a bit of a secret. This has been quite a secret because it hasn't been mentioned yet in public. But anyway, this is the iPhone, yeah. Because again, why on earth would you ever have not an iPhone? Yeah, don't worry, I don't get paid by iPhone, but don't worry because it works. But anyway, there's a little button on the bottom here, yeah. Let me do that again. Sorry, not that button. There's a little button here, and there's an option here that says satellite. Press satellite, yeah. And we go, brilliant. Now this is satellite. Oh my God, Mike, are we now on satellite? So this is called demo mode. Satellite. So we've now got the option now on the iPhone to actually connect via satellite. This is groundbreaking. This is better than everything else in the world. Connections are going shit. Have we now established that 5G was failed? Have we now realised that 4G was kind of like failed? We're now on satellite. So anywhere in the world now. Obviously, I can't use it because I'm outside. But if you want to be clever and you've got an iPhone, go outside and to activate this, scroll down for your screen, go to this mode menu here, which we all know, and then go under the connection tab, and then go on satellite, and then go under try demo, and then this is the demo mode. So we're now connected by satellite. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And this is the next generation of connectivity. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting to be able to connect by satellite for a long time, because realistically, you can't really attack satellites, can you really? The general public can't really attack satellites. And satellites are powered by, let's say, by the sun. So, guess what? It's green. Green energy. It can't be attacked. And the way the satellites actually work is it's unhackable. They're not unhackable. It's encrypted. So when you look at life in general, as humanity, cell towers can be turned off. So as wars start to kick in, as civil wars start to build now, and the UK falls apart, the Western world falls apart, the only form of communication is going to be by satellite. So guess what? We're paying for the service already. So, but I thought I'd tell you the truth, because isn't life about the truth? Life's about the truth. So, yeah, when I'm no longer around society, and yeah, I'm somewhere safe, secure, and the whole world's going to shit, and you then realise, fuck me, Mike, yeah, maybe I should listen to you. I rest my case. Case rested. So, yeah, it's mad, really. And on this mentality of listening to music, buying materialistic things, having fake relationships. Yes, people that want to be with me and around me, who want to be protected and safe. That's the realization of life. And it's interesting. It's interesting. I've seen it. I've seen the large amount of... It's interesting the amount of people who, first of all, contact you and get involved with you, but also have conversations about specific things about life. And yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting. So would you much rather have £100 in the bank, £1,000 in the bank, £10,000 in the bank, 100,000 in the bank? Or would you much rather have what? Sorry, would you much rather have £1 million in the bank? We're always told that having money in the bank doesn't make money. But then would you tie money up in a country that's got a civil war going on? Think about it. Ukraine. How much money was in Ukraine? How many people sunk money into property in Ukraine? And suddenly now, look what's happened. It's collapsed. Why the fuck would you do it? Why would you sink money into the UK? Why? I rest my case. That's why I don't get all these people on social media who post pictures, faking keys. Look what I've bought. I've bought my house. No, you haven't. It's mortgaged. It's fake. I'm going to start a new life with this my new partner. Yes, fantastic. It's madness, isn't it? Then we drive forward again. Great. So we bought a house. We need to finish it. Great. How much money are we going to spend on finishing it? Well, we need to paint the walls. Okay. How much is that going to cost? 20 quid. Great. Okay, fine. Paint the walls. Then I want a picture there. How much is that going to cost? Oh, it's 30 quid. We'll buy a picture for the wall. Great. Then I'll buy a sofa. £1,000. Really? Yeah, but you're still going to go to Tesco and buy a frozen pizza, because that's what we do. Right, so I'm going to buy a £1,000 sofa, but then I'm going to buy a frozen pizza. I rest my case. I just don't get it. It's, when you look at logic of civilization, it doesn't make sense. So, I'll tell you what I would do, and I have done in the past. So look at this guy here. He's going around collecting glasses in. And so you got a guy now going around collecting glasses in. So to be realistic about this, if you had a bar or a restaurant, and let's say for instance you had glasses, if you did it an offer, when I say an offer, you don't need to basically make it as an offer, you just tell people factual figures. You buy a drink, if you return your glass, you get your next drink half price. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine turning up to the bar, you buy a drink, you drink your drink, you take it back to the bar, and you get another one half price. Guess what happens? You inflate the price of the drink in the first place, and guess what happens? You have to have people going around collecting glasses. So when I see these little idiots walking around collecting glasses in, I think to myself, like, how uneducated are they? It happens all over the place. And I think to myself, like, okay, I now get it. Why is civilization so broken? I do not know. Because they're thick. Everyone's thick. And that's the realization of life. I've already done it. I've already been in a let's say for instance a job role whereby I've already put that into place. And it's been a success. And yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Your tables are always kept clean and tidy. How do you call somebody in? How can you call somebody for collecting? Well, if you think about it, why would I want to do more work for myself? If I was a human being, why would I want to use my arms and legs more than what I have to? There's no logic. There's no point. So if you went down the route of doing something that's different, then you're going to save yourself a large amount of traumatization. So you can literally base yourself at one position. So why on earth would you go down the route of thinking, well, I'm short-staffed. There's only one person on a bar because that's all we can afford, because we can only afford to pay one member of staff. So why would you want that person to be behind the bar, collecting glasses, washing glasses, doing a silly little dance in the corner, cleaning up the floor because there's been a spillage? Like, why on earth would you ever want all that? Unless you go down the road thinking, well, let's be realistic about it. How are we gonna maintain this to a level whereby we understand a level of class and style? Now, we understand that if you come to a bar and you see glasses on a table, you can't turn that table around quick enough to get somebody else sat there. What you want is a clean table to be turned around fast and quick, so it gets turned around, people leave, the table's ready for somebody else. That's the realization of life. So why would you want to fill a table full of menus? Why would you want to fill a table full of dirty glasses? And then it stood there for half an hour because we haven't a chance to clear a glass because, oh, sorry, that table's got dirty glasses. Oh, we haven't got enough tables. You need to get people in and out. So restaurants, clean tables, get people in, get them sat down, get the food down the throat and fuck them off. That's the realization of life. That's about covers. How do we populate as much money and income as we possibly can over a short amount of time? We get a restaurant, we service clients to a high standard. Think about the bigger picture. You go to a restaurant and we sit there and we go, okay, would you much rather sit somebody in a restaurant taking a table up, or would you much rather take somebody into the bar to pick their meal to have pre-drinks before you go in and have a meal? Would you much rather go and have pre-drinks in the bar to decide what you're going to have for your meal, and then when your meals are ready to eat, you walk into the restaurant, you sit down, you have a nice meal, you then leave? Surely that's more logical? But we don't. We follow suit with everybody else. We have this whole big restaurant full of tables, less staff. And we get on this route of thinking, yeah, I totally get this whole logic now in life. So I've got 30 tables. And I'm going to sit 30 people down at all these tables, and we're fully booked. But they're going to sit there, they're going to decide on what they have for a menu. Oh, I might have a chicken tikka masala, because that's what it is, isn't it? It is these days. Don't we eat slush? Yeah, we eat slush. Haven't you realised that? Haven't you realised that in the UK we eat slush? Majority of what we eat now is pretty well poisonous. So, one thing I haven't posted yet, but one of the royal family, it's actually interesting actually, one of the royal family actually went into a city which is now classed as the failed city in the UK. And it basically, there's a picture of the royal family looking at this chicken tikka masala, or it looks to be a chicken tikka masala, and his face is just kind of like, what the fuck is that? It's basically what his face is. But yeah, it's basically an Indian restaurant that's proving their understanding to life and their meals to basically the royal family in the UK. When you come to post things on the internet, when you come to post things what not to post, you tend to have this mentality where you think, should I post this or should I not post this? There's things you post, there's things you don't post. And unfortunately, the royal family, I don't think approved of what they were looking at. But let's be realist. So yeah, imagine coming to a restaurant and you walk in and you sit in a nice warm area whereby you can sit down, you scan a QR code, you first of all order on an app, which is simple. You send a message to say thank you. Instantly that goes straight through. And then with literally 30 seconds later, you get a message that comes in and says thank you very much. And you'll get a text message to say, you'll be sat at table 3. Imagine that mentality. So you walk in, you order your drinks, because drinks takes time to order. Me taking the time to order, it takes time to order. And then when your actual food is ready to actually eat, you then walk through, you sit at a table, you sit down, you have your meal, and you literally leave. Now, wouldn't that be the most logical way to have a restaurant? That's what I would say. And also at the same time, you can actually have a nice little reserve card on the table as well, saying reserved. So when you actually go to the restaurant, it shows that the table's been reserved for you. You feel like, yeah, you are busy, because that's what happens. You feel like you're busy, you feel luxurious, and guess what happens? People spend money. So that's the realization, really. That's the realization of life. And unfortunately, yeah. The reason why I don't have restaurants is because it's regulated by the government. When I say it's regulated, it's 2-tier. If police are 2-tier, if governments are 2-tier, then what do they want? Well, they obviously understand the white British man's rich. So what are they going to do? Tarnish him, because that's what they want. They want to get rid of, again, anybody with money, because they need the money themselves. So they want to take. And how do you take money? Now, you can't take it from somebody that doesn't understand how to make money, because there's no point, because they're broke anyway. And if they've got no money, then they can't pay. So what's the point in chasing somebody that's got no money? So you might as well chase somebody that has money. But then how do you chase somebody that has money because they can't, because they're too clever? That's the issue. Systems in the UK are broken, systems in the world are broken. And we've now established the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And that's the reason, that's the legalities behind life. And how do you help the poor? Well, you try and express to the poor how to live life, but they won't listen. And honestly, I don't get it. I don't get it. When I was poor and I didn't have any money, I actually went to a few people who I knew had money, and I actually asked them, and I said, look guys, I just want to understand. I want to understand how to make money. And what they said to me was first of all, sit there and observe. The first thing, that's what they said to me. In life, sit and observe. And look around at people. That's the first thing about getting rich. Observe other people. Look at what they're wearing. Look at how they react. Look at what they order. Look at the amount of money they spend. Look at where they sit. Do they sit towards their back towards the wall? Like, how do they speak? Do they speak, let's say, do they speak in multiple languages? Do they speak, or are they bilingual? There's a lot of logic in people watching. That's the reason why you should always people watch, because you can always preempt a lot of occasions, and also understand life very quickly if you look at all the people. So, first of all, that's one of the things they said to me. Sit there and look at all the people and understand. Once you understand, you can then start to make money. If you don't understand, you can't make money, and you can't be successful. And the second thing is go on the internet and tell me the truth. Give me 2 answers, yes or no. Can you run a business in the UK? Go on the internet Look at how many taxes there are and tell me the truth. Can you run a business in the UK? When you actually establish you can no longer run a business in the UK, and you come back with the answer, no, you can't run a successful business in the UK, that's why then you become rich. Because then you establish, you understand the legalities about life. You understand it's impossible. So why would you ever try and run a business in the UK? Maybe you should use the UK to make yourself rich. Just maybe. I'm just being honest. Because the realization is, think about it. The life we live is not a fair playing field. If you are immigrants that come over to the UK and take British money and send it back to their own country, it's like the UK are now paying immigrants to leave. We'll give you 60 grand if you leave the UK. Guess what happens? They pay 60 grand, they leave. Guess what happens? 3 weeks later, they're back on a boat, back over to the UK again. They come in for the next 60 grand under a different name. They've had a haircut. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It's a broken system. And when you come across life as a broken system, you can't compete. You can't compete with cheaters. And unfortunately, there's a lot of cheaters. So why would you ever play a fair playing game with somebody else? It's okay if the rules are the rules and we abide by the rules and we play the game fairly. But if you're playing the game fairly and they're cheating, guess who's always going to win? Cheaters are going to win. You can't play a fair game in the UK against cheaters because you're going to fail. Because the cheaters will always end up winning. And that's the realization of life. You can't win. So people live this life in the UK, and unfortunately it's fake. It's fake. Always has been, it always will be. And that's the realization. And people say to me about finding contentment and finding happiness. Now, I'm the most happiest guy in the world because I speak and tell the truth. And that makes me happy. That makes me the happiest person in the world because I wouldn't be here today and being able to tell the truth if, obviously, I was unhappy. So happiness is about being contentment. I'm content, I'm happy, I'm living a very luxurious lifestyle, and I just don't play into the game of life, into society of like becoming poor. So yeah. So I'm not lonely. Unfortunately, life is one of those things that you have to take a very lonely road in life. You can't be around civilization. You can't be around friends and family to become wealthy because it doesn't work. It doesn't work because what happens is your time's taken up by materialistic things, by pointless conversations about things that really don't matter in the world today. And actually what really matters in the world today is mindset, in dedication, in time planning and looking at the future and thinking, right, well, this is about to happen. How am I going to miss that? How am I going to adapt my life very quickly to get around that? Because this is going to be hitting hard. Like obviously for me, COVID, I didn't see COVID coming. COVID was a shock to me. I wish I knew COVID was coming because I would have adapted very quickly. However, COVID hit me hard. I lost a lot of money in COVID, but I still maintained a limited status. So yeah, and really, what I should have done is collapsed. I should have collapsed my business and restarted up. That's what I should have done. But in a way, when I look at life, I think to myself, you know what? The finest, the fittest, the strongest will always succeed, and that's what I've established in human nature. If you've got a woman who's weak, she will fail. If you've got a man that's weak in the UK, she will fail, he will fail. But then maybe, just maybe, they're perfectly matched for each other. And maybe they'll just be happy and content. And that's the realization of life. You know, I will match against people who, in my life, will succeed. I'm no longer in the pond. I'm now in the waterfall. I'm climbing the waterfall. Do you know how fish always swim upstream and the strongest survive? And the small fish, the weakish fish, they're in the pond. They can't grow. They're in the pond. They mate in the pond. They're in the pond. They're struggling in the pond. They can't ever swim upstream. For me, I'm flying upstream. I'm literally swimming upstream now. I always have been from the age of probably 19, 20. And the people that I'm now meeting upstream are the people that actually dedicate. People that actually are basically, to be realistic about it, they're the ones that have the money. And that's the people that I associate with. Money makes money. We've established this from day one. It's not one of those things that, you know, that we've established that, you know, gold makes more gold. But how do we take money? Well, we take money from the weak. A weak will just pay. The weak don't get it. They're fear. They fear for their life. They fear for their skin. Oh my God, I might lose my car if I don't pay a parking fine. Oh my God, I must pay this parking fine. Oh my God, the government's sent me a nasty letter. I must pay this letter. I might lose my house. And the realization is yes, you will lose your house. Yes, you may lose your car. But the realization is when your car gets taken away from you, guess what? You buy a new car that's better than your old car. That's the realization. When you lose your house, you buy a house better than the one you had before because you can afford it. That's the realization of life. It's not about maintaining a property and saying, well, actually, I'm scared. I'm scared for my life. You might drive down the motorway tomorrow and might lose everything. You might pass away and die. So what have you done? You work for nothing. Oh yeah, I've bought a house. You'll drive down the motorway tomorrow. You'll be involved in an accident. That's it. End of story. Gone forever. So think about the realization of life. Why do you fear? Why do you worry? Well, you shouldn't. And this is the realization why I could not be a police officer on the street. Because the police on the streets are not police. I'll tell you one thing about the police force. The police that you need to be scared of are the people that are not on the streets. The police that you need to be scared of are the ones behind closed doors. They are the people you need to be scared of. They're the ones that are... They're the people that put you behind the bars. The people that put you behind bars are the people that are, again, not on the beat. You'll never see them. They're never named. They're basically like a virus. The police you need to be scared of are viruses. Think about it. What's a virus? A virus is something you need to be worried about. So, in life, a quiet man without friends, a quiet man that doesn't associate with people, a quiet male that obviously works continuously to achieve success, they're very powerful. And that's the realization of life. So one thing I will say is go to work hard, dedicate, but don't tell anybody your life. Don't tell anybody your stories. Don't tell anybody where you live. Don't tell anybody who you're dating. Don't tell anybody who your friends are, because the people at work are not your friends. They are actually your enemies. They are your enemies. Your work colleagues will throw you under the bus. They will trash you because your work colleagues won't ever want you to be bigger than them. It's like, oh, Mike, how are you today? Oh, yeah, I'm really good. How was the weekend? Oh, yeah, went out with a few mates. Oh, right, where did you go? Oh, went to the bar, didn't I? In Bristol. Oh, yeah. What? That one with the fire outside? Oh, yeah. I saw it on social media. Yeah, it's really good there. Really nice. And then you see pictures, and then you're linked with other people, and then you go, oh, you know what? What does he do for a living? What does he do for a living? What does he do for a living? They keep you to a level. That's what work colleagues do. That's a formation of life. I go to work, I persevere and dedicate. I don't associate. Because the minute you start associating with people, you start to grow up the ladder. And that's not what they want. If you're mates with somebody, they won't want you to become a manager, because they were like, you've gone to the dark side now. You're now in control. You're now telling me what I need to do. Your friends will never ever be friends at work. Why do you even work is the question. I rest my case. You see my point now. You see my point. I run big businesses, and honestly, a lot of my staff don't even know that I'm the managing director. They don't even know that I'm even involved, because at the end of the day, I'm a virus to them. And that's the difference, you see. I'm a virus. I turn up, they don't know who I am. People might say, oh, he's the boss. Doesn't really matter. They haven't got a clue, but then they don't see me for 6 months. I don't communicate. I don't talk. I hide behind email addresses. Obviously, what, do I put Mike at? No, I don't. And do people know where I live? Do people know my lifestyle? Do people know what I drive? Do people know anything about me? No. Because the realization is, Why should they? At the end of the day, they'll hate me. Because, again, they'll be like, oh, well, you know, I want his lifestyle. Ah, right. So we're making him the money. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. That's the realization. It doesn't work like that. But people think, you know, that this is the problem. They're jealous. Life's about jealousy. Now, at the end of the day, what I actually do is I'm actually clever. What I actually do, now this is the true fact of life. If I charge £20, let's say, for instance, I charge £20 and I pay somebody £19 and I make £1. I make sure that the pound that I made free of charge. But I also make sure that the £19 that somebody else has made, they've actually done the work. So I'm actually using somebody else to make me the money. So what I'm actually doing is building my contacts so big, so fast, so quick, that I make £1 off every transaction. So if I make 400 transactions, that's £400 in. And that's profit. And what have I had to do? I've done nothing. And that's the realization of life. The realization of life is I sit here and do absolutely nothing and I make my money. And actually, I use other people to make me money. However, I pay them really well. And I also say to them, if you got this job anywhere else, if you work for anybody else, guess what? You wouldn't be getting paid this amount of money. So, are you going to work? Are you going to dedicate? Are you going to basically provide a service to me? Or are you going to go and get a shit job somewhere else? Mike will work for you. Right, I'll pay you very well. I'll look after you. But you make sure you work for me. If you fuck up once, that's it. You've got a job, you leave me, and you'll never have that option again. Same mentality as a woman. If you date a woman and she fucks it up, one thing I will say is when I meet somebody, I give one option to a woman. I say to her, you only get one chance with me. That's it. Don't fuck it up. And she's like, okay, well, no other man said that to me before. So it makes her think. So one thing I will say is a difference. It makes people think about it. It makes people think. So if you're a female and you date me and you cause me trauma, or you cause me issues, or you lie to me, or you make any form of complaint about the way life is, but you're not willing to change things, sorry, sweetheart, you're weak. Sort your shit out. And this is the problem. Civilization's fucked, because at the end of the day, you need more men that are masculine, more men that actually what you need in the world today, you need more men that take no shit. Because if you have people that take the piss, you have women that take the piss, guess what happens? One thing I'll say in life is there's a lot of women, there's a lot of vaginas. So why would you go down the route of traumatizing yourself? Yes, you might be pretty, doesn't matter. It's your headache, stay well away. And that's the realization. Allow somebody else who's weak to get involved with it. You know what will happen? Let it go. One of the stories that I'll always tell, and I'll always say this, is when you buy a toy, what do your parents always say? What do your parents always say about buying a toy? You give your toys to the less fortunate. Unfortunately, that's the way life is. You hand over your ex-partners to the less unfortunate. And that's the realization of life. So, yeah, if you have no respect and you lose the respect, or you don't get given the respect, then the realization is, sorry, sweetheart. Yeah, that's it. And that's the realization of life. And you could say to me, you know, Mike, that's a lie. Mike, you don't understand the world. I'm sure I understand the world. I get it. And that's the realization. You see Mike with a woman? No. Have you ever seen the rich with a woman? Have you ever seen a rich man with a woman? Think about it. Think about it. Yeah. Because, again, let's be realistic about, obviously, how the Western world has built over the years. Let's think about how the Western world's changed over the years, and let's see how the Western world's now collapsed over the years. So how do we make Great Britain great again? It's called Great Britain for a fucking reason, because it conquered the world. Think about it. Why is a blowjob called a blowjob? Think about it. Blow job. It's a job given to a woman to make sure a man's pleasured well. That's the realization. It says it in the word. everything you read in the world today, it's majority of it's face value. You read it and you're like, hang on, it says it. And this isn't new. This isn't things that I'm learning and picking up as I go around the world. It's red. It's red in front of your eyes, and you see it. So it's the realization of life. Look at what I say. Look at what I do. Look at who I am. Look at what I portray, and then say, "Fair play, Mike. Yes, you may know something that we don't know. So why don't you take my advice? Why don't you work hard? If you are going to commit to a woman, first of all, make a decision. If you are not interested, don't mess around with her. Leave her. Don't add to her body count, for one, because it's just not worth it. Second of all, as well as leave her alone, be polite, and walk away. That's one thing I'm going to say to you. If you're not going to obtain it, do not get involved. That is respect for a man. So the amount of women that I've let go over the years, just because I've just basically accepted. And you know what? Do I feel gutted about it? No. People always say about an ex-partner, should you ever get back with an ex-partner? Well, an ex-partner is an ex for a reason. So, yeah. Have the realization. I actually had a message out today from a female. Where is she now? Here she is. Has she messaged back yet? No, she hasn't. Here you go. This is a woman. This is called Helena. So she sent me a message. This is the realization about male and female. Again, male pick females. It always has been the mentality. Women don't pick males. Males pick women. But there's this mentality that obviously, people that are broke tend to have a different way of living life. But my opening move was, let's skip the small talk. Are you an added bonus to my life or a liability? This is obviously a man that understands dating and understands females to a very, very, very high, let's say a very high understanding. Because, again, how do you get good at something? Well, first of all, to get good at something, you have to understand. And how do you understand? You have to do it. And if you don't do it, then you become shit. So it's like driving. If you drive 1 mile a day, you're going to become a shit driver. If you drive 300 miles a day, you become a very good driver. So my opening response was, let's skip the small talk. Are you an added bonus or a liability? ? The message came back was, well, I certainly wouldn't be here if I didn't think I was a bonus. Okay, fine. So I then sent a message back saying, perfect. Sex plays a massive part in any relationship. So let's just get this out of the way first. And basically the response was, I didn't realise we were talking about sex. Obviously, sex is pretty wild. It's not what I'm interested in really, but it's just interesting to see the way that the women, what they should be saying is something completely different to that. But, anyway, I rest my case. Because if it's too easy, men don't want an easy game. Men want a chase. So if she came back saying, fantastic, love the idea, let's get down and dirty. To me, that's somebody that understands life as a woman. But instead, obviously, a man likes to chase. So obviously, then I'll play the game with her because it's kind of like brilliant. Well, at least then she understands what I know. But instead, it's just kind of like, yeah, it's change the dynamics. So then I asked her a question. Please confirm your body count. She put ... no. I put here, okay, isn't life and relationships about honesty, respect and transparency? ? Because isn't that what life's about? I'm sure it is. Anyway, she then came back and said, it's a bit crass. Well, sorry, it's a bit crass. You're saying to me that it's crass me asking about your body count? What, so you're gonna lie to me? And I'm gonna respect that? Nah, sorry, sweetheart, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna accept that. So yeah, she basically says it's a bit crass, and she wouldn't be happy telling me. She wants to establish a connection, perhaps meet once or twice. So I feel that I can tell you this information. Like, honestly, does it really matter? It could be 3, it could be 10, it could be 100. It doesn't really matter, because it doesn't really matter, does it really? But anyway, it's the realization of life. How can you have a relationship with somebody or have a connection with somebody who won't tell you honest facts and figures? So anyway, she also said, you don't have the right to ask a question of this caliber. Sorry? So I sent a message back saying, Helena, good luck. Hope you find what you're looking for. And she sent me a message back saying, thank you. You too. And like, honestly, she doesn't know who I am. And when I look at her, yeah, I rest my case. She's overweight. And not only is she overweight, but we'll look what she's eating. A dessert. That's somebody who is uneducated in life. If you're overweight, you should not be eating desserts. Think about it. So, think about it. If you're heavy, the pressure that's put on your ankles. Now, a fat person has the same bone structure as I do, as a human being. The same bone structure. So, for instance, I'm athletic. So if you look at the difference between somebody that's overweight, somebody that's fat, somebody that's obviously athletic and thin and skinny, we have the same bone structure. So the framework, imagine building a building of the same frame structure and just bolting on more and more and more and more weight. What's going to give at some point? Ankles, legs, joints. So why on earth would you carry on eating like shit? I don't get it. Honestly, I think to myself, like, what the fuck? And I try and educate people on this. I try and think to myself, like, we see it. Anything colour changing, anything red, green, blue, it's classless. And what's actually class is, let's say for instance, warm white, cool white, and making things good. So obviously, again, I'm sat here, and guess what's behind me? A dragon. But that's been designed. Does that look like the dragon? Is it in the mirror? Oh, thank you. You've got a glass here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've got a dragon here. It's not actually in the mirror. It's actually here. But you see my logic. It's all about perception. But if I'm sat here, and you take that for granted that that's in a box. But actually, it's not. But these days, we're so like, we believe so much. We take so much for granted that we just look at something. We look at something and we read it and go, "Oh my fucking god!" And then we pass the information on, and we don't cross-reference anything these days. And that's the realization, really. So, oh right, I'm gonna show off. I've got to get a flight. So yeah, I'm back online later. Probably. Well, we'll see. I might go live on the plane if I can. If I can go live on the plane, I will do. But like, if the internet's so shoddy, then yeah, we might not be able to. Such a genius. I am a genius. That's the problem. I know things that you don't, and it's a problem because I understand the world. So yeah. Anyway, while I'm left, keep the UK going just a bit longer than you can. Like, you know, maintain it, and do me a favour. Yeah, protect the women, because that's what they need. Anyway, take it easy, and yeah, don't say goodbye to Dragon. Yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm athletic. Right, cool. I'll see you later.